It is not me trying to plan out, how can I create some sort of product and I'm going to make millions of dollars when I sell it. That's not working for me. And in fact, I'm at this point, and I talked to Dr. Holen earlier, and I said, I no longer am creating the experiences in my life. I am agreeing to the experiences in my life. That is a dramatic difference. When I went on the Larry King show the first time, and some of you have heard this story, there were several people, Jack Canfield and James Ray and some other people that went on the show the same as me. And one of them slapped me on the back and said, man, I've been visualizing this moment for 6 years. And I said, oh, really? I've only been doing it for 2 weeks. And it was a playful little thing that I was doing with him, but the truth was I had never done it once. I had never tried to go on Larry King. I have never tried to visualize being on Larry King. That was never, ever one of my intentions. It came by grace. All of these things that have been happening to me recently, and there have been some amazing ones. I opened for Donald Trump in Chicago. They had actually called me 3 times wanting me to go and play. And I told them no the first 2 times because the inspiration in that moment said, you know what, they're not offering you what you really can get. Just say no. Now on one level, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is really kind of crazy. I'm being asked to speak on the same stage before Donald Trump, and Joe Vitali is saying no? Who am I? But something in me just said, say no. Said no. They call a second time. They really want me. They offer more money, say I can speak less, and I don't have to sell anything on the stage. And I still said no, because something inside of me that felt like inspiration, that felt like it was coming from the whiteboard, said, no, that's not right. It's not, just don't settle. Just hang in there. They call a third time, and they say, we really want you to speak. We will pay you your full fee. You only have to speak for 30 minutes. We'll fly you and Narissa first class. We'll take care of all your expenses. You don't have to sell anything in the back of the room. Now will you do it? Yes. Yes. I have more and more of these experiences. Some of these stories I'll tell you over this weekend, where they're all coming from me constantly cleaning. Somebody had asked about what you're cleaning. And I wanted to point out that it doesn't matter what your focus is when you're cleaning, because you don't know what's really going on under the surface with all the data. It is so unimaginably complicated with all of this software wiring of the mind, with all these beliefs, all of this data, that you can't go and say, I have this heart problem, or whatever the problem happens to be, Alzheimer's or anything, because of what happened to you when you were 5 years old. You can't consciously pinpoint it. So the only thing you're left with is this wide sweeping eraser where you're cleaning everything. Whatever shows up, you're cleaning. And in my world, before it even shows up, I'm cleaning. And in fact, Dr. Holen, he did repeatedly, every week, Suzanne will tell you, he wanted the list of who was going to be here. Because he was cleaning on that list, so when he got here in front of you, he would be as pure, as close to zero, as inspired as could be. He has done as much of his data cleaning as humanly possible in advance. So for me, the key message here is if you keep cleaning, you get closer and closer to the zero state, to the whiteboard. And as you get closer to the zero state, you're in a place where when divinity, zero, sends you an inspiration, you just go and do it. And there's no resistance to you to do it because that's been cleaned too. If there is a resistance, if you do have this urge to open a restaurant, to write a book, to go on a cruise, to do something in particular, and you delay doing it, it's because of some data. There's some data that's still just kind of floating through you, and you want to erase it. So for me, it's non-stop cleaning. I have occasionally somebody will write me and say, how often do I clean a day? Do I just do the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you in the morning, and I'm done? And again, it's all up to you. For me, it doesn't ever end. And I also tell people, why would you want it to? If you're saying I love you in your head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every month, why would you want that to end? If we all were saying this, and again, I'm the only one that has to say this, he will constantly remind me of that, but if we're all saying this, can you imagine the kind of vibe that would be around the planet? Walking around where in the back of your head you're going, I love you? And I think it would be even better if we all walked up and said, I love you, 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 and let everybody be concerned and curious and confused, and I love you, to everybody, just saying it out loud. I think that'd be a fun little experiment. We only have a few minutes before lunch, which is already set up for those who prepaid for it. Do you have a question or two that you can offer? He would love to have a question. he welcomes questions in this room, not over lunch, but he will over this room. Do you have a question or two? So I have a question. Oh, he's standing up with a question. Okay, right there, Craig.
Why did it make me angry being in this room in the last session?
One more time, so they can hear it and clean it.
I'm Jim.
Yes.
And I wondered, why was my reaction to the last section anger?
I have no idea, but I hope somebody's cleaning. We know there's got to be data, but what data? Who knows? And who cares? Oh. Yeah. Oh, please release me, let me go.
So a minute ago, Joe said, doesn't matter what the focus is as long as we're cleaning. Does there have to be a focus, or can we just be using it as a mantra? I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry.
That's sufficient.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. See, what you have to know is I only show you the 15 million, but there are billions. The 15 million that is only per second. They drop down, more come up. But the data is ocean deep and mountain high. Yeah. I have somebody took the class, and in Dublin, no. I don't know where it was, Cork. And they sent me a picture of a monkey. And here's a picture of the monkey going like this. And it said, Tim realized with some horror that cleaning his way back to zero might take longer than he thought. One more question, because I'm really hungry.
Right here.
Yes.
I wanted to answer his question,
Sure.
if I may. I had the good fortune of attending the first Zero Limits seminar at Lake Travis earlier this year, and I sat next to you at the first seminar. The guy stood up and said, "Why am I so angry?" So I don't know the answer, but I'd be glad to talk to you after the session if you'd like to talk about it.
Yeah. Talk to him. Anybody? We got 2 minutes. Yeah. You ever notice the same people ask questions? Yeah. So please don't feel insulted. I'm just saying that, you know? Yeah.
I would like to know why other hospitals aren't trying this out. I mean, that's
Because
such
they're like you.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would try it.
I know, but they're like you. Not me. I would do it. I wouldn't try it. I would just do it.
Okay.
See, right now at Hawaii State Hospital today, they have a lawsuit because now social workers and people like that are being beaten up on by patients. That's what happens when you don't take 100% responsibility. They'll beat up on you. That's what happens with women. They get beaten up on because they don't take 100% responsibility. I was giving a talk years ago to a group of women who are therapists. And I heard as I was cleaning, they're not going to invite you back again. I heard it even before I showed up. So it came around, and finally a question was asked. And the same question asked in Japan. I just got back from Japan. And the question is, how come women don't get more presidency of corporate America? Well, because they're not 100% responsible. That's the bottom line. But if they were willing to clean up that stuff, they would run the country. But they're too pissed off. Too pissed off. Yeah, you know, they have activists or like that, but it doesn't clean up the act. Doesn't clean it up. I had a nurse at Hawaii State Hospital. She was always ticked off. Oh, I mean, she'd come to work and the whole ward would just go crazy with her on the ward. So I just noticed that, and I said, oh, I just noticed that every time I'm present, everybody goes nuts. So I began to work on it and work on it and work. A year later, it all settled down, and she and I got to be good friends because I was willing to be 100% responsible. The ward settled down. She was fine. They promoted her to some training position. But see, somebody has to be responsible. And I'm going to read something, and then we'll take a break. I got this when I was in Germany doing a class there, and somebody gave it to me, and I would read it. This is about you folks. And there'll be a good time to go on a break. It's called, the thing is called, That's Not My Job. There was a story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought that anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. And I'm coming back. If the women are going to wait up on the guys, you got a long wait. So do your cleaning and take over. I mean, really, you can take over this country. But you bitch and moan and groan, and it just goes on over and over. So if you get a chance to eat strawberries today, it will help with depression. Really. Strawberries, it will help with cleaning up depression. Because that's the problem that women have. They just feel down and out because they never get a chance. But I'm saying to you, the best way to go is don't be bitchy. Just clean it up, and you'll be fine. Because if you're waiting up on,